Crews installing bulletproof glass and doors here at Sarasota Middle School, but why? Coming up.
Plus, a sneak peek at the new tools the school district's officers will be using.
And Venice police are warning people of a mail thief stealing credit cards. Your Suncoast News starts now.
You're watching ABC7 News at 6.
Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis.
And I'm Jacqueline Matter. Thanks for joining us. Topping our news at 6, bulletproof doors and glass medians. Just some of the ways the Sarasota County School District is making sure your kids are safe.
Right now, crews are installing a number of new security measures at every public school in the district. ABC7's Taylor Torregano is live at Sarasota Middle School with a rare look inside that construction. Taylor?
Good evening, Jacqueline, Scott. This is the new single point of entry that anyone who wants to get onto school grounds will have to use. And once inside, staff will make sure you have a good reason to be there.
I lose sleep at night, thinking about safety sometimes.
You can feel the weight of responsibility the principal of Sarasota Middle School carries on her shoulders.
I feel very responsible. Every day, our parents expect me to know that their child is safe and secure and getting a good education.
But with more than 1,000 children to protect, she says these new measures will let her breathe a little easier.
It's a systems approach, and so we have multiple systems at each campus that are designed to catch something not right.
These new systems start with a gate that will fully enclose the school's campus. Then the single point of entry will be here through the office. But if you're not supposed to be on campus, it will be hard to get in.
A couple of key things in this office. Number one are bullet-rated glass all around so that nobody can come in and kind of shoot through the glass and get on campus. Another key aspect is the controls that all of our staff will have behind here to make sure we're alerting police, make sure we're alerting safety and security, and the entire campus to go into lockdown at the push of a button.
Bulletproof doors and a glass median that will soon be installed to separate anyone from entering without staff's permission. And from the guys doing the work, it's the type of security they've installed at banks, but never before on school grounds.
It's a heavy lift. What we're being asked to do is challenging. A lot of the components in these systems are custom components. It is a very big commitment from both a resource, time, and money by the district. And I think it's really impressive that they're willing to do that on behalf of the students.
Now, these new additions are currently being installed at all 42 public schools within the district. And the goal is to have it all complete by the time students return to school on August 13th. But the district says it could take a few weeks longer than that, and they're asking for your patience. I'm reporting live from Sarasota Middle School. Taylor Torregano, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Taylor. Take a look at this. Our first look at the school police officers' brand new patrol cars. The Sarasota County School District says that they now have 7 of these new vehicles. Staff plan to buy more used cars from the city of Northport later this year. Then these 7 are soon to be equipped with all of the necessary communication resources inside, which will include radios and laptops. They will also have a metal gate to separate the front and back seats should someone need to be arrested.
City of Northport will officially have a new police chief on the job later this week. A swearing-in ceremony for Todd Garrison will take place Wednesday evening. The 45-year-old is a third-generation law enforcement officer. Garrison has 26 years of experience and was previously working as a captain district commander at the Lee County Sheriff's Office.
Well, let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan for a look at our first alert forecast on this Monday evening. Bob.
Thanks, Jacqueline and Scott. Beautiful day today, albeit on the hot side. Temperatures did soar to the low 90s, but the heat index a little higher net. 101 to 105 degrees this afternoon. That's what it felt like out there, and that's the result of that westerly flow, which also favors inland storms that we're seeing right now. Big storms into inland counties like Hardy and DeSoto counties, as well as in the Polk. These two coming together, and this is going to get even stronger. They're just around Wauchula, up near Bowling Green, and spreading off into Polk County. Arcadia, I mentioned earlier, lightning is a potential there. Sure enough, there's our first lightning strike in Arcadia with that storm, and that cell not moving much. DeWitt has had some rain nearby. It's starting to weaken this particular cell, although it's still there. Bringing some showers and a few isolated lightning strikes. Starting to wind down a little bit near It looks like western portions of Hardee County. But you see all these outflow boundaries that are coming from these storms. There's another one right there. They're all going to kind of collide with some big storms and some heavy rainfall because the storms won't be moving all that much. High pressure located to the south and west of us, giving us this westerly wind, which does give us an occasional shower along the coastline right around sunrise for the coastal communities. We'll have much more on that and whether that pattern will continue coming up in a few minutes. Back to you.
Bob, thank you. A precautionary boil water notice is scheduled for a section of Holmes Beach this week. The county is replacing some fire hydrants on Wednesday and shutting off the water from 8 in the morning until 4:30 in the afternoon. Once that water is restored, customers are advised to boil their water until Friday, just in case it is contaminated.
Sarasota City Commissioners are expected to vote on higher property taxes tonight. The proposed budget is more than 30% higher than last year. City Manager Tom Barwin says he's cut all he can, and despite an increase in local property values, he says he has no choice but to ask for that tax increase. But it appears he has the votes to get it, too. But one tax watchdog says he's not surprised the city is voting to raise the tax rate.
I'm disappointed. I'm not surprised. They're classically tax and spend. They always have been. There's an item on today's agenda where Bobby Jones losing money in nearly $1 million this year, and they want to buy 47 new golf carts to replace golf carts that are only 3 years old.
The increased millage is expected to pass by a 3-2 vote. Still to come in your Suncoast News.
Venice police are warning people of a mail theft in the area that's stealing credit cards.
Oh my God. Okay, so we're in front of a guy and he is drunk and literally just ran over. Watch out, love, watch out! Oh my God. We're ice gonna run in.
Plus, how this alleged drunk driver got caught by police. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
1115.
Hunger is a growing problem in our area, and a huge number of Suncoast residents are suffering in silence.
It could be your coworker,
Your child's classmate.
or your friend fighting to secure their next meal. But you can help.
ABC7 is partnering with local organizations to help feed the Suncoast.
Go to mysuncoast.com/hunger to join the fight. Help us.
Help the hungry.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do-it-yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
If you don't want to fall immediately into love, look away. If you don't want to awaken a desire for excellence, look away. If you don't want to be seduced, please look away.
Rediscover your passion for driving at Sunset Maserati Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
When you are home alone, an emergency can become a tragedy. However, with any of Life Alert's 3 emergency systems, help can be summoned immediately, whether in the bathroom,
I've fallen in the shower.
at home,
Help! I've fallen and I can't get up.
and on the go.
Help! I've fallen in the park and I can't get up.
Don't worry, help is on the way.
Life Alert saves a life every 11 minutes.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-518-0221. That's 1-800-518-0221. Call now, 1-800-518-0221. For a free brochure, call 1-800-518-0221.
Now a crime alert for those who live in One Venice apartment complex. Someone has been stealing mail and using credit cards inside.
ABC7's Rebecca Fernandez is live at the Venice Police Department tonight with a closer look at how the crimes were discovered and what to do if you think you are a victim. Rebecca?
Good evening, guys. Police here have a suspect behind bars, but for over a month, residents had no idea they were being ripped off. They thought their mail was safe behind lock and key.
We would expect our stuff to be safe in the office or delivered to the mailbox, and we didn't feel safe. We were thinking about getting a P.O. box.
Williams was one of a handful of residents living in the Venetian on Capri Isles Drive that had their mailbox pried open and their mail stolen.
We were ordering packages, and out of nowhere, we'd get a little slip in the mailbox, or we'd receive the confirmation that the package had been delivered. And then when we went to check, we didn't have our packages in there at all. And it happened about 2 to 3 times. It's over $200 worth of stuff was stolen from us.
And it didn't just stop there. Williams said just a few days later, his wife had yet another thing stolen from her.
They send the debit card, and then they send, in another package, they send the PIN number and everything. Both of them were taken from her, and they tried to clear the account and everything. Yeah, it happened that way too, so. Not even to be able to trust that it's gonna get delivered to our mailbox was really disheartening for us.
They got a bill of over $500 from that debit card, and that's when they realized enough was enough and filed a police report in hopes that law enforcement was able to catch that thief.
So we were able to basically open up an investigation our end and work with the local stores affected, and we're able to get surveillance footage of a suspect committing the crimes.
Police arrested Madison Johnson on Friday, July 13th and charged her with over 10 counts of fraud. Now the Venice Police Department is warning the community of these types of crimes and what they should do if they become a victim to it.
The biggest thing is just paying attention. You need to watch, if you're expecting mail, you need to be cognizant of that and checking the mailbox every day. If something doesn't turn up, the first step is going to the post office and determining where the holdup is, and essentially starting from there.
The Venice Police Department will also be posting crime tips on all of their social media and are encouraging everyone to stay alert and report anything suspicious. Reporting live tonight in Venice, Rebecca Fernandez, ABC7, your Suncoast News. Back to you guys.
All right, Rebecca, thank you. A Northport man is among those facing counterfeiting charges tonight. 6 people busted after a long-term investigation in Charlotte County. It began back in October after counterfeit bills were found during a traffic stop, along with an unusually large number of ink cartridges for a home printer. Investigators say 4 homes were searched where they found more than $7,000 in counterfeit cash and the equipment to print it.
Bradenton police are searching for teens who caused more than $1,000 in damage at GT Bray Park. Leaders with the Manatee West Little League returned to its rented field on Thursday morning to find damaged fences, light fixtures, bathroom sinks, and surveillance cameras. But the camera continued to capture footage, which is helping Bradenton PD with its investigation.
To see someone do extensive vandalism, that's not fair to the other people who live in Manatee County.
When we have to take funds to fix the cameras or fix things that they've broken, that's 4 or 5 bats or a glove that a kid needs that he needs to play.
In total, Bradenton police put a $1,300 price tag on those property damages.
A popular park in Myakka City is closed because of high water levels. Manatee County Parks and Rec shutting down Crane Park today, which borders the Myakka River. Visitors will find the front gates closed, the power turned off there, and it will remain closed until those water levels recede. inland enough where they've been getting some rain there, I guess.
That's been the case, hasn't it? I mean, we've really seen not a normal pattern where the winds and the storm comes from the east and southeast, bringing those storms to the west coast. I know my lawn is a little bit, not doing that well. And normally it's, so high you got to cut it every other day, it seems like. We are looking at this pattern continuing too, a little unusual. We will get the morning showers along the coast, possibility of a thunderstorm even late night and during the early morning hours near the coast. But the heaviest activity by far has been inland, away from the coastal locations. So we're a little bit below average for the year and for this month thus far. Well, the storms, well, as you would expect, inland. Wauchula getting some rainfall nearby near Bowling Green. Heavy weather in southern portions of Polk County tonight. And we have some rough weather as well now into Arcadia and just south of Arcadia. These are the rivers and streams that have a tendency to flood to the Horse Creek, the Peace River. No flood problems right now, but we still have a long way to go before this summer pattern gets over with. It's unusual summer pattern that it is. Bowling Green, heavy rainfall now again near State Road 17, and the one near Duet is starting to die out, but these are getting height here up to 40,000 feet in southern portions of Polk County tonight. And you can see that lightning strike right there, blue indicating the positive strike, more amperage, more voltage, and Lake Branch Road getting some rainfall there, Torrey all the way down along State Road 17. So the forecast model is suggesting that those storms will move off to the north. There could be some outflow boundaries heading to the Gulf, and we'll see that morning shower activity along the coast. There's a chance for that happening tomorrow. And overnight, I would not be surprised to hear some rumble of thunder as well. A lot of energy still kind of stored up near the coast. And then for the main focus along the east coast in the late afternoon and evening, and there's a trough of low pressure and a frontal boundary coming down. That's why there's a little bit more action showing up on the futurecast to the north of us. That will keep us in that west to southwesterly wind regime. Looks like right through Thursday and possibly even into Friday. Lows tonight will be a little bit warmer than that, mid to upper 70s inland, upper 70s to low 80s near the coast. 88 degrees right now into the Sarasota-Brady River. That's cool and cooler. The heat index is at 98. Just 2 hours ago, it was at 102, and the humidity up there at 65%. The high today, 91, 77 was the morning low. Rainfall, I mentioned, below average for the month and for the year now, over 2 inches plus. This is the rainfall forecast you'll see over the next 24 hours, most of it inland. Although it shows a couple of showers and storms developing in the morning along the coast, there's not much expected for beachgoers, so you may like that. Temperatures right now across the U.S., 101 in Dallas, 94 in Kansas City, 90 in Reno, 103 in Phoenix. Highs tomorrow will stay warm, too, in places like St. Louis and Dallas, and not too bad over the Great Lakes, so pretty comfortable there for a lot of the folks up there visiting right now. 90 degrees in the nation's capital. For boaters tomorrow, as it has been, pretty light conditions out there, with the exception of a few isolated cells in the morning. Seas will be running less than 2 feet, and the extended forecast, and slight chance for showers tomorrow morning, and then better chances for inland areas in the afternoon. We jump up to 40, but the same pattern continues on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We may get them anywhere at any time, I think, as well as on to Saturday and Sunday, maybe a return to those afternoon and evening storms once that front kind of weakens and high pressure builds back in over the southeast. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. A warning for parents tonight after a devastating death in South Florida. Pembroke Pines police say a 17-month-old boy died this weekend after sitting in a hot car for more than 8 hours. Firefighters tried to save the toddler, who was left in a parked car outside a medical plaza. Police say one of the boy's parents left him in the car and went to work.
Members of the police department and fire department conducted CPR life-saving efforts. Also, medical transport was conducted, but regrettably the child passed away.
I didn't know that he was dead. To me, it looked like that he was sleeping, but I didn't want to think something bad when I saw it.
Police are now investigating that death.
A hearing looking into whether early voting sites should be allowed on university or college campuses in Florida. A judge hearing arguments today in a lawsuit filed by the League of Women Voters of Florida and other plaintiffs. They say early voting sites should be allowed on college campuses. A key issue in the case is a 2013 law that expanded early voting sites from supervisors' offices, city hall, and public libraries to fairgrounds, civic centers, courthouses, county commission buildings, stadiums, and convention centers. Some argue that a university campus does not meet the definition of any of those authorized voting sites.
Where you need to have early voting is exactly where you have conditions like University of Florida and Florida State and UCF and USF, where you have large, dense populations of basically captive citizens.
The groups filed the lawsuit against the Secretary of State, Ken Detzner, back in May. Detzner is asking a federal court now to let the state courts decide the dispute.
Florida Power and Light is installing more than 90 solar arrays across the state, and soon that will include Sarasota. By the end of summer, the Girl Scouts of Gulf Coast, Florida will get shaded parking under 2 solar canopies. That will generate about 36 kilowatts of clean, zero-emissions energy for the grid. Now, these are pictures from earlier this year when FPL partnered with Girl Scouts of Bradenton to install a solar tree.
A week-long speed enforcement operation beginning today across 5 southern states. Law enforcement in Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, and South Carolina are all taking part in what's called Operation Southern Shield. They'll be pulling over drivers who are speeding on interstates, major highways, and local roads. Police say the main focus is to encourage drivers to slow down and help reduce crashes. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says speeding killed more than 10,000 people in the United States in 2016, and it was a factor in 27% of all fatal crashes.
And speaking of reckless driving, a video of an alleged drunk driver in Sarasota is going viral online. You can see the driver, now identified as Joanne Simpson by Sarasota police, swerving over the streets in downtown Sarasota. Another driver says he noticed that she was going the wrong way down Orange Avenue and called police. The 62-year-old was charged with a DUI and property damage.
Wow. Stay with us.
When we come back, we'll show you how to give back while filling up your shopping cart.